I keep threatening to talk about this. I don't really have much to say about it, only that the sandwich guy has been acquitted. You might recall that grand juries in DC multiple times failed to indict him. Like the federal government kept going over to grand juries and saying, hey, will you please, please, please let us charge him? And grand juries kept saying, no, we like it when people throw sandwiches at ICE officers, actually. We're in favor of that. But eventually they did get an indictment. And he was acquitted in like no time. Seriously, how the hell did they fast track this result so quickly? A jury acquittal within, what, less than a month? Insanely fast. Are there still lower charges? I don't believe so, no. Deliberated for charges for several hours Wednesday and Thursday. Judge was shitting on the prosecution the whole trial. Good, good, good. Border Patrol officer Greg Larimore received 2 gag gifts related to the incident, a plush sandwich and a patch featuring a cartoon of Dunn throwing the sandwich with the words felony footlong, which the defense team argued showed this was not a serious event in his life. Larimore had testified that the sandwich, quote, exploded all over his chest and claimed he could smell the mustard and onions. But a photo showed that the sandwich was still in its wrapper on the ground after it hit Larimore in his bulletproof vest. Yeah, weird. Cop lied. Interesting. In closing arguments, defense attorney Sabrina Schroff argued that a sandwich could not and did not cause harm. This case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, is about a sandwich, she said. Well, that's so funny. The cop up there, the Border Patrol officer, like tearily recounting the incident, you know, how he nearly died. God, that's funny. Local news segment on the verdict. Oh, please, please, please.
Certainly huge smiles and sighs of relief from the so-called DC sandwich guy and his legal team as a jury found him not guilty of misdemeanor assault. Now, Sean Dunn had become something of a cult hero and a symbol of the resistance to the Trump administration.
God bless
Images
him.
of him throwing that sandwich could be seen on T-shirts and buildings throughout DC over the past few months. Now, this all stemmed from an incident back in August when Sean Dunn was captured on video getting in federal agents' faces and screaming shame and profanities. Prosecutors say he then slung a salami sub into the chest of a Border Patrol agent and ran away. Now, Dunn only made it about a block before he was arrested. The next day, he was fired from his job at the Department of Justice. Federal prosecutors had argued the video clearly shows Dunn throwing the sandwich and that he later told a police officer, I did it, I threw a sandwich, and that he shouldn't get a free pass for his behavior. During the trial, the Border Patrol officer who was hit by the sandwich testified that it, quote, exploded all over his chest and that he could smell the mustard and onions. But then the defense argued a picture of the sandwich on the ground afterwards showed it was still in its wrapper and therefore could not have exploded. Now, according to the defense, the officer's bulletproof vest should have been more than enough to protect him from a sub. And the defense said the Border Patrol officer...
I know how these court proceedings tend to play out with how fucking anal retentive everyone is. Do you think they were like, now, we're going to go through the rating of this bulletproof vest and take a look at the small arms ammunition that it's able to repel. We have here a diagram on the newtons of the average salami sub thrown at close distance. Now, if you'll see, this graph shows that it's significantly lower than the force behind a 9mm round, which this vest is rated to absorb the impact of.
Officer got multiple gag gifts afterwards from his co-workers, such as a plush sandwich and a
Is a sub below or above a 5.56? I mean, if the sub, like, just if you were just going by size, the sub is closer to a tank round. So maybe the Justice Department has a point.
Match of the subslinger that the officer put on his lunchbox, which the defense argued was proof the agents were not really that upset or traumatized by what happened. Now, today, outside court, Sean Dunn thanked his legal team and said he was thrilled the jury found him not guilty.
I am so happy that justice prevails in spite of everything happening.
American hero.
And that night, I believe that I was protecting the rights of immigrants. And let us not forget that the Great Seal of the United States says e pluribus unum. That means from many, one. Every life matters, no matter where you came from, no matter how you got here.
Now, prosecutors had initially tried to indict Dunn on a felony assault charge, but a grand jury declined to bring that charge. That is why prosecutors then brought the misdemeanor charge. Now, my colleagues on the News 4i team just spoke with U.S. Attorney for D.C. Janine Pirro moments ago. She told them, quote, "We accept the verdict, but no police officer deserves to be assaulted."
You were joking, but the jury literally asked the judge to differentiate between bodily harm and injury. Reported from the, Oh, damn, am I Molly Roberts? Day 4 of Sandwich Guy's trial, he's finally wearing a suit. The rest of the week's evidence suggests he seems to prefer pullovers in cooler weather. The jury has a note for the judge. The note is a question. Please define bodily harm. How is injury different from bodily harm? The government takes some time to think about this definition. The defense says that this is simple. Bodily harm means harm to the body. Oh. Government comes back and says that bodily harm can include injury and offensive touching is sufficient for that. Ah, okay. So the government's argument that you can cause bodily harm by tapping a person lightly on the shoulder. This is the video they made showing off his arrest. Yeah, do you remember? The guy who threw the sandwich turned himself into a police station after he ran away successfully. And they turned him away. And they did so because the Trump administration wanted to make this arrest video.
Coming down!
The most expensive sandwich in American history? Seriously. Incredible stuff, really. Fucking content creator brained administration. Their greatest enemy is themselves. These people are fucking jokes. It's a joke. It is the most unserious shit I've ever seen. This is the kind of stuff that, you know, was it the country of Ghana where the government announced they had built like hyper advanced mobile, like Gundam-esque armor suits that their soldiers were now wearing, and then it was a bunch of guys in cardboard boxes? That we're on that level. Russia did that too. Ghana did it much funnier. They did a military parade through a bunch of tents with their hyper-advanced mobile exoskeleton combat units. They had like a parade float of a mech. You get it. Bro, they look awesome. Looks cooler than that gay-ass arrest video they put out for the sandwich guy, that's for sure. Probably cost a lot less to make, too.